right, what's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everything's well this morning. So, is the revolution over? Say what's up to everybody, man. Not really going to talk a lot of boxing today, man. Would much rather talk about police. Would much rather talk about what happened with Chauvin and George Floyd and all that good stuff. Because, you know, that's what's really popping in, you know, in the world today. So we'll take a day, one, to talk about something that is primarily not boxing, but we'll get on to boxing and talk boxing at the same time, man. But, you know, I got mixed emotions, man. I got mixed emotions about that trial, man. One emotion is happiness that that dude is going to jail for killing that dude like that, without a doubt. There ain't no excuse for sticking your knee on the neck of somebody like that. My man, MD20, man, what's going on? The MD 2020 bandit in the building. Ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's good with you, sir? Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat, and then we'll get into it. But I want to hear your thoughts, man. So I'll be reading a lot of comments, giving your, get your thoughts on it. Personally, man, I'm glad the dude is going to jail, because obviously the dude deserved to go there, because damn, dog, who's going to buy any type of argument that you didn't intend to kill that dude with your knee on his neck that long? Nah, man, there was no excuse for that whatsoever, man. And it's definitely good to see that he was prosecuted. The mixed emotions for me come in this. Don't you Uncle Coon ass niggas act like you did something, okay? And then run around, start talking about singing Kumbaya and all that bullshit, okay? You got it in conviction in Minnesota. Nigga, don't try to get rich on it, okay? Don't try to get rich on it and run your ass all the way up to the top of the establishment and turn around doing the same shit that the people were doing before you got yourself up there. I'm telling you, this type of shit always spawns poverty pimps, because there's going to be a bunch of people running around taking credit for it and looking for people to give them money. Seriously, man. I'm like I said, dude, I am really, hey, Cy Gray, what you talking about, dog? What you talking about? What you talking about, man? You got a wrench. You wrenched up. You not wrenched up? What happened? I thought I had my people on that. MD 2020 again. Thank you so much, sir. What's going on, B&B Boxing? How you feeling this morning, man? Paragon for principal. What's happening? Kitty Peeps. Eric Holt in the building. What's going on, man? B&B Boxing. Cy Gray. Reminder, I already got you, dog. I already got you. Now, you know you're under you know you're under probation now. I gave it to you because I fucked you over yesterday. Don't go fucking up with that wrench, dog. Please do not fuck up with that wrench. We got veteran wrench carriers in the chat, man. What's going on, Albert Doughty, man? Southern T Boxing in its usual chilling, man. You know, just like you, nigga, waking up this morning, twisting one, didn't twist one, waiting for the show. Terrible morning this morning. Jeez, I can't even tell you why either. But a terrible morning this morning. Definitely a terrible morning this morning. Not a terrible morning this morning, but, you know, not the best morning this morning. See, yeah, Eric Holt said it's bittersweet. Exactly, man, because now you're going to have a bunch of coons claiming victory. Now we're going to need to celebrate because racism is over. You got a prosecution, didn't you see? You got a prosecution. Said now I need them to punish him to the full extent. Yeah, and I'm sure that they will. They'll punish him to the fullest extent. And then we'll be claiming victory, bro. Then we'll be claiming victory and saying, yeah, we did it. We did it. Yay, we did it. You know what I mean? What's bull, Albert Doughty? Albert Doughty, what's going on, man? He said bull. What's bull? Let me know what's bull. I'm not going to jump on what's on the vape. CBD. Mike Sauceda, what's going on? Just CBD. I puff as a nervous habit, man. I puff. That's what's up. Cy Gray say you won't regret it. Thank you, sir. I don't already, man. I appreciate you being here, man. I really do, man. Like that shirt and tie, by the way. That's clean. That's clean. Yeah, now just waiting on the sentencing. Me, exactly. B&B Boxing said they're still not talking about true police reform. But I'm telling you, I don't think police reform is going to be what solves the problem, man. I don't, because cats are always going to infiltrate that police department. They always will. Seriously. Like, you know me. I've got a million questions about why people are getting killed out of that police department. Getting killed out of police departments. And I'm telling you, man, I think that obviously they're infiltrated. Not even infiltrated. That's what they started off as. But, I think that there's more to it, man. I really think that there's more to it. There's more to than just their training. There's more to it than you just telling people, hey, it's the whole situation, man. It's the whole, what's going on, Ali Voso, Fahim Tatur? It's the whole situation that's the problem. The whole situation is the problem. You can't fix it until you fix the laws that stop people from getting arrested every 15 fucking seconds for anything they fucking do. The fact of the matter is that a police officer can pull you over for anything. I mean, literally. It's like anything you can get pulled. You can get pulled over, you can get stopped, you can get asked about anything, man. Albert Darty said, hope he's caught on the inside, Well, he probably won't be. He probably won't be. See, Malachi Nelson, I think you need to start with the people. I really think you need to start with the people, man. You have to organize your neighborhoods. If you organize your neighborhoods, if you have black men and women or Mexican men and women or whoever, whatever those neighbors are, if you have, what's going on American Patriots 1776, if you organize your neighborhoods properly, there will not be all of the policing needed. Right now, it seems like you got business owners in black neighborhoods calling the police for any and everything, right? You get what's his name? Mike Brown killed because what did he do? Steal some Skittles and some cigars or something? You know what I mean? Dude, they call the police on him. And then you send down police officers who are not from that neighborhood. If you have somebody living in that neighborhood, if you have somebody, Jerry Blackwell, I'm not sure, dude. There's Blackwells that I don't know. I can't say that for sure. Can't say that. Ozdil Talit Nami said, racism is the biggest illness, bigger than COVID. Without a doubt, it's killed a lot more people than COVID. Killed a lot more people than COVID. Milani said, the problem is there's no vetting process in place that could preempt recruitment of supremacists, fundamentalists, and extremists. Well, here's the thing, man. The nature of the job is going to pull in people that want to use guns. See, you could say that, you could look at it like that type of job is going to attract extremists and all that. What I would say is it is going to attract people that want to control other people. That is pretty much what a policeman does. If you want to be a policeman, what your job as a kid is going to look like. You're going to be wearing a suit, a uniform. You're going to be carrying a gun, right? And you're going to be telling people what to do. And if somebody breaks a law, you're going to go and arrest them. You may have to go in their house. You may have to pull over their car. You may have to shoot somebody. You may have to stop a robbery. All of those type of things. What's going on, Eddie B, Milani, all of those things when you become a police officer, before you become a police officer. So who is going to be attracted to those type of jobs? Those type of people are going to be attracted to those type of jobs. People that want to control other people and tell other people what to do. Those are the same type of people that want to be legislators. Legislators, congressmen, government officials, by and large, are people that are in the business of telling you what to do. And they have that power associated with it. And over time, they become drunk with that power. Or they may use that power in a way that people find inappropriate. But still, it is in the nature of the job of a policeman to police you. That's their nature. That's their nature. And I'm not saying they're assholes because, hey man, I'm not going to say that, but I'll also say this. Bro, I've known police officers, dog. Y'all some pushy motherfuckers, dog. Like, just for real. Like, outside of. And I'm talking about, for example, I threw a party one time in Chicago, and I invited a girl and she came. One of a bunch of people came to the party, but this girl's boyfriend, who I knew, by the way, I knew the dude, I knew her. He went to like Northern Illinois, but when he got out of Northern Illinois, he became a police officer. So his girlfriend is pretty much a lifelong friend of mine. Like, definitely nothing romantic about that. Somebody I consider to be one of my best friends. So he decides to come to my party in full police gear. Full police gear. Like, dude, first of all, you're not invited. Number two, you walking up in here with guns. You walking up in here in guns and a bulletproof vest. What the fuck would make you think you should be coming into my house asking me at a party where I'm having fun fully loaded with the police? Only reason he came in there was to intimidate everybody and let everybody know that she was with him. Or on the other side of it, she invited him to intimidate everybody in the fucking party and let everybody know that she was with a cop. I took it both ways personally. Personally, I was like, nigga, how does he even know where I live for him to be up in here in my party in a full police gear? Knowing people got all kind of shit. The fuck is wrong with you? So I asked him and her to leave. Hey, you're kind of blowing it here, okay? People are having a good time. We don't know your boyfriend, but he was about 6'4", a good 280, just standing there like he owned the place, right? And you think, dude, you can't put this guy out of your house because he's a police officer. Like, and I was like, no. I can put you out of my house. I know you personally. Dude, you up in here with your gun and stuff, man. You making people feel uncomfortable, man. You can't just walk in the house and show off your badge, show off your bulletproof vest, show off your guns, bro, in somebody's living room, man. No, you were not invited, man. Come on. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I mean, it's brave because I knew him. I mean, it was a dude that I knew. So it's not like he's a police officer, but I know him. I know him. We know his family. We know the guy. So it's not like he's going to bump up and get extra aggressive with me. It's be like, dude, if you get extra aggressive with me, dude, you're going to lose your badge. So let's not act fucking like you just going to come up here and slap me. You come in my house and you slap me, nigga, or you do this, I'm just going to make a call and you're going to lose your badge. That was what that conversation was. We'll call a mayor, and I want to know why this police officer came up in my house for no good reason. And I asked him to leave, and he wouldn't. But I'll say there, let him sit there and wait till the next day. We'll make the call, and we'll have his captain ask him why he was on duty and who called him into that party, and to let him know that visiting your girlfriend in your full riot gear, Negro, is not necessarily that smart. So don't do that again, because you might have scared somebody and made something happen that was be completely your fault. You know what I mean? So I'm somebody that I understand that police officers have a very, very tough job, and it is stuff that you got to make the call on in a minute. You know, all that stuff that they say is true. So I'm serious, man. I don't even see how you educating somebody about not beating somebody up and doing this is really going to be that helpful, dude. When some of the people that do that, it's just how they are. You know what I mean? That's just how they are. Some of those guys would beat you up in high school. And they're like, hey, I go to them. I'm not going to go to college. Should I go to the movie? Should I go to the military? Should I go to the police? So they go to the military. After they get out of the military, they go to the police. But there's still people that are very much interested in controlling people. And that's not saying that's a bad thing one way or the other. because, you know, you definitely need that in life. But man, I'm just trying to say, man, if you think that some police reform is going to stop that shit, please. And I'm telling you, the thing that bugs me is that Black Lives Matter angle on that shit, man. Because that is not, dude, that movement is anti-black male. And they will be using that victory as a reason to funnel more money into something that is anti-black man. You know what I mean? Seriously, Black Lives Matter is going to say, yay, look at what we did. Look how we're moving the needle. Look at all the things we're doing. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, what did you do? What did you do? Make some fucking signs? Make some signs, make some money? Get out of here. What exactly, who are you? I don't even know a bunch of black people geeked on Black Lives Matter. But they're going to be the ones claiming victory. And the lady that was the co-founder, you know, the one buying $3 million houses, right? Claiming $3 million, claiming that is her. And I guess she says she's a Marxist, right? Whatever that, I know what that means. I know she don't know what that shit means. But she says she has Marxist principles. Not Marxist. Marxist principles. Like, dude, there's some fucked up Marxist principles, okay? There's some good ones and there's some bad ones, okay? Good ones and bad ones, homie. Good ones and bad ones. Which principles exactly are you on? Because clearly you're not the one without personal property. Clearly you don't ascribe to the one that says that you don't have personal property, right? That will be owned by the state and we will share collectively. Because if you were that, you wouldn't go run around buying houses for yourself. And the killer is, she's claiming that she's doing it for her family. Oh, I bought 4 houses and those 4 houses are for my family. Really? Then whose name are they in? Who's paying for it? Whose name is it? Who gets the tax deduction? Who takes, when the property appreciates, who collects the value of it? If they sell that piece of property, are they going to keep the profit or are you going to keep the profit? You're going to keep the profit. It's your house. All you're doing is maybe renting it to your family. You're going to rent it to your family or are you going to pay the mortgage? Or did you just pay it all the way out? Because if you paid it all the way out, then all that property is doing is appreciating value. And they're sitting there rent free, but you're making the money. So which one of these Marxist principles says you get 5 houses? Why do you need 5 houses? If you wanted to do that, then why don't you go buy a soybean farm in Idaho or Louisiana? Go to Louisiana, get a big ass farm, spend $5 million on a lot of land. Because I'm going to tell you, in Louisiana or in Alabama, you can get a ton of land for $3.5 million. So then you take your family and hire a couple people and grow and sell soybeans. Keep that family business going on forever and ever and put it in a family trust where it's not your property. It is the property of, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. So, rapper Papoose co-signed her facts. So what if he co-signed her facts? If he co-signed those facts, he doesn't understand what Marxism is either. If you want to say, just say what you did. Ain't no problem, dog. Just say what you did. What did you do? I got rich because I'm influential. I started an organization called Black Lives Matter. And what we did was we instituted a program for black lesbians. We started a black lesbian program called Black Lives Matter. Because that's what it is. It's a black lesbian organization. We started a black lesbian organization. No problem with y'all. Hey, do what you do. But that's what it is. It's a black lesbian organization that took in transgender questioning and all of that. That is a sexual orientation based organization who says that in order to end, they don't even have, dude, not most of what they talking about ain't got nothing to do with black crime, about police violence. Most of it has to do with reorganizing society. The rest of it, the little bit of it, is basically saying, yeah, and we'll use racism against any black as a reason to push our line. Sorry, dog. I ain't buying that, homie. Said, I like the slogan Black Lives Matter, but the movement is not for black people. Absolutely is not. It is absolutely anti-black male. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I agree with my brother on nothing. Like, love my brother to death. Agree with this Negro about damn near nothing. But one time he came to me and he was like, Martin, Black Lives Matter is a same-sex relationship organization. It is nothing about black men. And he dared me read it. And I read it. And I was like, oh no, you're 100% right. Because they're saying they want to get rid of the black nuclear family and the necessity of a father in the home. What are you talking about? Everybody else in black America is trying to work to get black people in the homes, and Black Lives Matter is running. Black Lives Matter, exactly. Black lesbians matter. Black Lives Matter is trying to push black men out of the house and collecting all kind of corporate dollars to do it. All kind of corporate dollars. So I'm saying, dude, if that's your shit, do your shit. Everybody got a bunch of stupid shit to say, so ain't no problems. That's your stupid shit you want to push your stupid shit. I'm okay with it, just as long as you know that shit ain't flying in my house. That's all I can control is my house. But if you're going to make money, dude, be honest and say what you did. Say, we built this organization, and as a result, I was hired onto the board of directors with other organizations because they wanted my input. And because I'm a human being, they have to pay me. And they paid me fairly. They paid me what they paid the other people. So since they paid what they paid the other people, there's no problem with that. I just made my money. That's what I did. I would tell you niggas that shit in a second. I'm starting a foundation. No joke. I'm starting a foundation. When my foundation is off the ground, I will tell you flat out, that foundation is for that purpose. When I'm over here fucking with you niggas, I'm making money. Okay? Just because I have a foundation in this point does not mean I'm not going to make some money. Straight up. What's Tay-Tay serious about? She loves Black Lives Matter, and that's what's up. See? Watch this. Black Lives Matter. She loves Black Lives Matter. I don't like Black Lives Matter, but I know Tay-Tay's a cutie, and I respect Tay-Tay on boxing. So Tay-Tay says she likes Black Lives Matter. She must have a good reason to like Black Lives Matter. It must really resonate with her life. I am not saying she's wrong. I'm not saying it. What I'm saying is this. If that lady is going to claim Marxist principles, dude, go buy a farm and have everybody live on it. But if you're going to make money, just say you're going to make money. There ain't nothing wrong with getting money. Straight up. There's nothing wrong with what she did. Nothing. The only thing that was a problem with what she did is the fact that she's lying about what she did. And there's no reason to do it. You're not a Marxist. Get out of here, dude. You may be faking Marxism. You may be faking it because you think that may bring a bigger umbrella of people underneath you, because there's a lot of Marxists and a lot of socialists and a lot of different religious, that damn near religious beliefs, but a lot of political beliefs or theories of how you should organize politically. There's all kind of people with different ideas about that. And you can respect each and every one of them. The problem comes when people start being hypocrites. Because why is she saying that she's a Marxist if she's not behaving like a Marxist? And why is she saying Marxist principles instead of saying she's a Marxist? It's like you're walking a line. What are your Marxist principles? Which ones exactly? If they don't relate to money, then say they don't relate to money. You can she could have answered the question in a way that wouldn't have made her look sneaky and dishonest. Because on the real, baby, you know full well those are your cribs. You know full well you flexing. That's what we do. You get money, you floss. Shit, you got a little money. Why should you be living in a raggedy ass house? If your mother's out on the street and you can afford to build a house or buy a house that she can stay in, what's the problem with that? No problem with that. No problem with that. However, dude, don't claim it as Marxism because it's not. That is capitalism. And you are taking care of your family. If that is a Marxist principle, then everybody's a Marxist. Bill Gates is a Marxist if what she said is true. Right? He takes his money and he has kids. And he has cousins and he has families and he pays and he gets a lot of money to all of them. That does not make him a Marxist. He's a capitalist who has a family. She is a capitalist. Or I don't know if she's a capitalist or not, but she's trying to be one because she's buying property. She didn't rent them. She could have rented the property. She could have done a co-op for the property where she bought the property and the property was owned as a co-op between her and her family. That's a Marxist principle. And that's how people with Marxist principles in the United States, that's how they buy homes. They say we need to have a home, but we believe in this and we believe in Marxism or socialism or economic Marxism. So what do? I will buy the house, but I will be only 49% of the owner. And the other 51 will go to everybody that's living there. And in order for anybody to get evicted, we're going to have certain rules about what has to happen in order for somebody to be evicted. You can't be evicted by the landlord. You have to be evicted by a vote of the other tenants who are also co-owners. And if they leave, they have the right to sell their portion of that co-op to someone else. That's a co-op. If you are a true Marxist and you are existing in a capitalist system, you will tend towards co-ops. Co-ops in your business, right? Where you say, hey man, as an employer, I'm going to hire all you guys. But guess what? We know that your work is what brings the value. My capital got us the equipment, but it's your work and your talent and your creativity that equally adds to the value of the product that we're selling. So what I will do is I will give you, the employees, ownership in what you create with the materials that I buy. That is a Marxist principle called co-ops that people are doing all through New York City. They're doing all over the place. I didn't hear anything about co-ops in Black Lives Matter's speech. I didn't. I'm telling you, know what they come across to me as, Tay? And I don't mean to offend you. I respect you. They really come out as like the Anti-Defamation League. Seriously. They sound more like the Anti-Defamation League than they do the Black Panthers. I'm just telling you. They sound more like the ADL. More like the ADL than they do the Black Panthers. And they are, really. They're more closely associated with the Anti-Defamation League than they are with black organizations, I guarantee you. Because that's how they get their funding. Right? Isn't that what they say? There's like George Soros is paying. Dude, no. That's the Anti-Defamation League. That's the Jewish League. Those are the people more than likely that are supporting and pushing Black Lives Matter. And I'll tell you why I believe that. Because Black Lives Matter is similar to another civil rights movement, right? You had the civil rights movement. You had the Black Power movement. Now you have the Black Lives Matter movement. Who is the biggest beneficiator of the civil rights movement? And I don't think that there is any doubt about this. White women and Jewish people are by far, the best beneficiaries of integration, affirmative action, and all that, because it got split down a sex line. So now you're competing for your discrimination dollars with white women who live in the homes or lived in the homes at a certain point in time with the white men that you're trying to get the money from. So now, because of the civil rights movement, which spread from black people and only started at black people, and it ended with the fucking speeches, okay? Oh, the New Deal. I forgot the New Deal too. The New Deal was before the civil rights movement. Did we get anything out of the New Deal? A little bit. We got Social Security, but did we get the GI Bill? Did black people get access to those homes and all those things that would have built all that great wealth that other people built, who turn around and tell us that we need to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, even though they've been pulling themselves up by our bootstraps? You know what I'm saying? You're pulling yourself up by our bootstraps. Nigga, give me my bootstraps back and I'll pull myself up. Get your fucking hands out my pocket every other step I take. Get your hands out my pocket and I'll step up. Get your foot off my neck and I'll stand up. No problem. You know what I'm saying? Stand right up. Get your foot off my neck. Okay? And get your hands out my pocket. And stop paying people for disinformation. Because black people are not donating that money to Black Lives Matter. They're not the ones donating it. The large firms are doing that. Why? Because they want to know how exactly Marxists can make money. Of course they can. Marxists can make money. They have to. They live in a world that is capitalist. You have to adjust. Marx lived how long ago that dude live? 100 years ago? Was he 100 years ago? 120 years ago? Way back, dude. Early 1900s, 1800s, dog. It was a different world, man. It's a different world, and you got to take the concepts that anybody has from back then and adjust them today. The same thing with democracy. You got to adjust that shit, man. You got to adjust it. But anyway, it is what it is. Nah, dude. Dog, don't get on people for supporting what they support, man. Viva tu vida, what's going on, man? Dog, I don't believe in getting on people for what they support. Tay Brown supports the Black Lives Matter. My mama supports Black Lives Matter. Sisters supporting Black Lives Matter. My wife supports Black Lives Matter. Dude, I can say this shit till I'm blue in the face. They're still going to support Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? Only thing that you can, and they may say in their mind, I don't care. It's going to make these police officers get arrested. And we're okay with that outcome. If there are some people that get really rich and wind up, becoming an Al Sharpton, you know what I mean? Becoming an Al Sharpton or some shit, or a Jesse Jackson, or you name it. There's a guy named Adolph. What's Adolph's name? Is it Adolph Reed? The professor at the University of Pennsylvania? I think his name may be Adolph Reed. But he wrote an article, and it was called How Black Power Became Black Establishment. And that's my worry. My worry is that this stuff, the police reform and all that stuff, is going to go to Congress. They're going to pass some really big bill. They're going to make some really big deal about it. They're going to make some really big deal about it. And you're going to have a bunch of people that claim victory. And they claim victory, and then they are going to run for Congress. I'm telling you, when they run for Congress, it's over. When they run for Congress, in my opinion, it's over. Xavier Martinez, I'm all good, man. What's good with you? If they run, once they run for Congress, they're bought. It's only a matter of time, dog. Because you go into Congress thinking you got some individual individual vote. Nigga, you joining a party. There are party whips. You know what I mean? You're in the party. You didn't make it to Congress. You made it to that party in Congress. And you got to be real careful about doing anything that crosses the line of that party. You got all kind of senior legislators above you. You got to get put on committees. Depending on what your political view is, you may get a good appointment. You may not get a good appointment. You know, it's easy for them to bury a U.S. congressman in the Congress, dog. There's like, 365 of them? You know what I mean? There's like one for every day of the year. Senators are a little more tough to do with that because they only got 50. But still, man, I'm telling you, once they go into politics, then they start becoming part of the establishment. And when you're part of the establishment, it is all about compromise. Politicians, whole bunch of their job is finding a compromise. But here's the problem. If you're representing people that are starving, that are uneducated, that are violent, dude, you ain't got no room to compromise. You don't. Compromise on what? We're starving and we're dying. You want me to compromise? No. We need to know how the starving is going to stop and how the dying is going to stop. And we need to know how it's going to stop. We don't even need to know how it's going to stop. We need it to stop. You legislators sit around and talk all day with doctors and theologians and everybody else trying to figure out how it's going to stop. But you never just make that shit stop. Make it stop is your job. Your job is not to compromise. Your job is to make it stop. Now, if your real job is to make sure the street signs are up and, you know, the electricity flows through the neighborhood, if a tree falls, you pick that tree up. If that's what your job is as a politician, to service the day-to-day needs of an individual, then so be it. Say that's what your purpose is. But don't go selling these big-ass grand ideas about saving the world, and then all you're doing is all you're doing is picking up the garbage on time. Spare me. 90% of your job is the menial administrative shit going on. And you've got so much paper on your desk, dude, that you need a staff of people to read it for you. How are you ever going to get real change through the legislature? You never, ever will. It will always turn up the same way it always turns out, which is them coons compromising your ass into a jail cell. That's what the omnibus crime bill was. Do you realize that that's the HB, that is former civil rights guys that compromise your ass into the omnibus crime bill? Did you? Think about all the shit that their compromise has got you. All compromise means is whatever my people are asking me to do, I'm going to do something different. You got to compromise. All that means is you got to do something different than you want to do. That's no. Give me something else, and eventually, if it's good enough for me, then I'll pass it. And then guess what that means? Good enough for me means written in a way that it ain't worth shit to you. Like your integration that you got. Great job, integration. Way to go. Let's keep celebrating. Let's keep celebrating the greatness of Martin Luther King and everybody in the 1960s and their March on Washington and all the great things that it accomplished for certain rich black people. Because it did. It did a lot for certain rich black people. However, marked a whole lot of other black people that were doing well. Whole lot of black shop owners were doing real well in their black neighborhoods, real well. Coming right to that store, buying stuff right out that store. But no. The politician needs integration. The politician they have a dream of everybody mixing. And when you do that, the ones with the green run everything. We got all the colors here except green. I'll keep the green, nigga. Is there a green on that rainbow that they show? Or do they skip over the green? You know what I'm saying? Let's get out of here, dude. Southern T-Boxing said George Floyd Act is a result of people who went out there and tore shit up. Exactly. And that's what happened originally with the March on Washington. Martin Luther King and those guys in Atlanta were not the leaders of that march when it started. They heard about the march. And when they heard about the march, they rushed to put a figurehead on the march. And the figurehead were them niggas out of Atlanta. Dog, you can say what you want about niggas in Atlanta. Them politicians will steal. Nigga, they will steal the bread out your mouth. They will slap. Dude, in Atlanta, I'm telling you, an Atlanta politician will steal the gum out your mouth. Nigga, what'd you say? Bow, slap the money, take that shit, walk off with the gum. Get out of here. I know them dudes taking more money out of New Orleans than the law should allow. I'm telling you, they think they run the South. Literally. Atlanta is the what? The Mecca of the South? That's what they call it. You know why they call it? Because them politicians got national level attention. National level attention, right? And Andy Young, what's the other guy's name? Newt. Ralph Abernathy, Martin Luther King, almost all of those guys from the civil rights that they call civil rights heroes are from Atlanta. That's not coincidental. That is because that is the Mecca of the South. It's like the New York City of the South. And they're very arrogant about it. And I've dealt with those politicians. I've dealt with them. I've helped multiple get elected mayor in Atlanta. Supported guys for mayor heavily in Atlanta. I know Atlanta politics. They are very exclusive, and that they don't want nobody coming to Atlanta and making no money in Atlanta but them. Of all the places I've ever done business, Atlanta is the worst. The worst. Everybody else has always, whenever you go there and you break their market, because I break markets. That was what I was doing. I was going for my company and I worked for my family, and I'd go to your city, and my job was to set up shop in your city. So when I go set up shop in Atlanta and I bring a lot of money with me to Atlanta, oh, you can meet everybody and their mother. They will kill every deal you think about doing if you're black and you ain't from Atlanta. But they're the so inclusive group. Fuck out of here, dude. I had this nigga Andy Young who I have no respect for. None. Andy Young, I have no respect for that man. I have met him on multiple occasions. This dude is arrogant beyond belief. Arrogant beyond belief. This nigga stood in front of me and a group of other people said, I'm the most important nigga any of y'all have ever met. That's what he said. I'm the most important nigga. He said it in exactly those words. I'm the most important nigga that any of y'all have met. In a very small group of people, right? Who were donating a lot of money. That's what he said. And I thought to myself, nigga, I know people in Chicago that will put you flat on your fucking back, nigga. What are you talking about? You ain't nowhere as powerful as John H. Johnson. Not even close, because you broke. The only thing you do is pander around, no disrespect to Jewish people. All you do is pander to them and spend their money. That's what you do. You pander to them and spend their money and do all kind of shit to keep the Nation of Islam from prospering, the Black Panthers from prospering, any other group of young intellectual black people that think something different than the establishment, you all attack them. Because you're the established power base. You're black establishment. The Nation of Islam, the Garveyites, all of those cats out east were pushing for education dollars. Education. They did not ask anybody for any type of integration. It was not on the table. They wanted equal funding for education because after the New Deal, Black people got screwed over in the New Deal. They were not allowed to get the money for the GI bills. They were not able to get the money for their housing, for the federally subsidized housing. Their education, their schools were not funded to the same extent that white schools were funded. They were pushing for separate but equal, because separate but equal was the law of the land. And they were saying, if it's separate, cool, we want equal. Separate but equal, we want equal. No, Atlanta jumps to the front of the line with their NAACP, which has never been a black organization, never. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the predecessor to Black Lives Matter, because that's all it is. Black Lives Matter is the NAACP. When I was a little kid, we had NAACP cards. We went to NAACP meetings. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and it was never run by black people. It was always run by non-black people. And the job of it was to put laws in place that would advance colored people. But colored people were not the authors of that. It was non-black people that were the authors. And they worked through the politicians and the preachers to push that message, to sign you up for the NAACP, to do the whole thing. We had a whole little NAACP army, right along with your Jack and Jill. Right along with your Jack and Jill. An elite organization that 99.9% of black people aren't allowed into because you don't have enough money and you don't have the social standing. That is what they did. That is how black power turns to black establishment. And this Black Lives Matter is going to establish, if they get their druthers, another group of black establishment. New congressmen to replace the ones from the civil rights era that are leaving. Rest in peace to every warrior in the civil rights movement. And I don't doubt that everybody was doing the best that they could do to try to solve an incredibly difficult problem. But when we analyze it, let's not get confused. The civil rights movement was a movement not by black people. Black people wanted education. They wanted their equal share of the money. If you're going to give that neighborhood that much money for their schools, give us this much money for our schools. If you are going to give them discounts on their homes, we want discounts on our homes. Now, I want to ask you something. Compare what was being asked for and what was received. Everything that they asked for, equal access to housing, equal access to financial dollars, equal dollars to policing their own communities in a separate but equal fashion, versus integrating all of your money with them. They say, no, we'll just spend it all at the same place. How about we don't give you any money, but we just let you go to these schools? We'll give you a bus pass. Here's a bus pass. Now you have equal education. Get on a bus pass and go over there. No, we're not going to make sure that we work on equal employment. We're going to give you welfare, and we'll give you some money, and we'll put you in the projects. Some really nice buildings that we'll build, and there'll be projects. What's the project? The project is to get us to equality. So these niggas, Atlanta niggas, with the help of other people that ultimately benefited from it, changed the course of the dialogue from equal access to money to receiving money to equal access to spending money. Because now, right, we don't have equal access to the money, but we do have equal access to spending the money at white counters. Look how good it is. White people will take our money now. We don't need you to give us our money. We need to be thankful that white people will let us sit with them. If that ain't a slave fucking mentality, what the fuck is? And that's what Malcolm X was saying the whole time. The whole time. And Black Lives Matter has every bit of potential to put the same bootlicking, compromising, self-serving ass niggas, their clones, right back over there. All on the back of dead black people. All on the back of dead black people. All of the pictures of the dead black people that you see. Just like all of the hoses on little black girls and their churches being blown up. All of that misery that black people suffered, the main beneficiary is white women. Because didn't the feminist movement kick into overdrive at the same time as black power? Absolutely it did. Doesn't transgender and all that come up at the same time that black police brutality is coming up? It's amazing how we always, all of a sudden, have so many co-sufferers around us that our leaders are telling us that we must bind with. And we must all seek this together. No, we shall not. No, we shall not. What we'll do is we'll go to our neighborhoods and we'll kick you the fuck out. How about we do that? How about we get every black man to live on code, end the gang warfares, end them? Because that's the money they gave us. They pump drugs as a make-believe, dangerous economy into our towns. No doctor and lawyer for you, son. Sit on that corner and make $1 million cash. So I say, take what you got. That's what they gave us. Let's use what they gave us. They made us maniacs. They made those children maniacs. I love Yellow Beezy, maniac. Love Nipsey Hussle, maniac. Maniac. No doubt, maniac. Chief Keef, maniac. We have more black maniacs than you can shake an army at because of the torture we have suffered for 400 years. We are maniacs. We don't care about death, even if we believe it. Many of the wise ones don't even believe it. You have kids that know every day that they can die and still grab their Glock and go out hunting, knowing they can't make it home. They're maniacs. Gangs full of maniacs. Biker gangs full of maniacs. Skinheads full of maniacs. We're maniacs. Why are we sitting around as a group of maniacs compromising? That's stupid. A maniac is never happy. He's a maniac. When you give him something, he won't be happy. He'll want more. He's a maniac. We love money. I put $100,000 on a table, I'll get anybody killed. Anybody. 100,000. Anybody. You know why? Because there's plenty of maniacs. Plenty. So why are we compromising? We need to be asking them, how can you keep us from being maniacs? Please, I would love to know. How are you going to handle us maniacs? There's more of us than there are of you. Listen to the music. They talk about killing all day long. I listened to a playlist and didn't hear about nothing but killing for about an hour. I was like, damn, are they going to get off killing anytime soon? Nope. Then I switched to Rihanna. Let me listen to some Rihanna. All I hear is killing. She may talk about loving you and sweeping you down and all of that. Really, that sounds like code for killing somebody to me. Because in the next song, she talks about pump. We're in love with guns. Look at our media. We worship the Godfather. That's everything we want to be. Because they told us that's what we have to be. And that's what we became. Southern T Boxing, I love you, brother. You a maniac, nigga. You a maniac. I never met you in person, brother. I know you're a maniac. Somebody knock on your door, rush you, you're going to come out with that banana clip. And everybody's going to go. If you don't call that a maniac, brother, what is it? How many of y'all know people that if they got a banana clip and 50 people in front of them, they're going to go to town? Everybody knows one. I just don't think. I don't think black people are willing to settle for anything. I don't. I think you could give black people $50 trillion. They're not going to be happy. We're not going to be happy. We're just going to be rich and hate you. That's it. We'll be rich, hating you, plotting with our money to get you. Period. You know why? Because money represents love, and we don't get that. We don't get the respect. We don't. Black people want respect more than anything. More than anything. If you don't believe it, go step on a little kid's shoe in Kansas City. Scuff his Jordans. And let's see what happens when you don't immediately apologize. Maniac mode. Maniac mode. Am I lying? Am I lying? I'm not. I'm not. Not lying. Telling you the God's honest truth, bro. Hey, Ben Yamin Hill said APTTMH. I'm not sure what that is, bro. The bullet and the ballot. No doubt. In that order. But not against police officers. In defense of yourself. Because police officers are your brothers. No doubt. I'm going to tell you. I love police officers. Love them. Love them. They're brave. But guess what? They're Americans. So they got a lot of maniacs up in there. A lot of them. One time. A lot of maniacs in the one time. One time, I was driving by one time. You know, and somebody next to me said pig. They just said pig. They didn't see the cop. They were talking about something else. They were like pig. They were like da-da-da, something about a pig. As we drove by that police officer, the police officer said, stop. Looked me dead in my face and said, son, do you want to go to the hospital? And I said, no, sir. I don't want to go. No, sir. No, officer. And he said, go on ahead. Keep going. Do you get that? In Chicago, on Michigan Avenue. Stop. What did you call me? Basically said, what'd you call me? You want to go to the hospital, son? I will snatch you out that motherfucking car and beat you like a dog right here. Send your ass to the motherfucking hospital and give you a parking ticket, nigga. Call me a pig again. Needless to say, I ain't never called the police. I ain't never called a cop no pig to their face. I ain't never called them pig, period. But dude, what kind of guy would say that? And he said it with a smile. Matter of fact, hey, you want to go to the hospital? No, sir. Don't want to go. Room. I'm out. Now, what do you think would have happened if I would have said, fuck you, pig? For real. What do you think would have happened? He'd have snatched me out of that car and kept his promise, without a doubt. I saw the baton. That baton would send me to the hospital, homie. I'm telling you, that's how I think about it. Terry Schmoot, I gotta donate for this. He's dropping serious gems. Y'all better listen up. Fannon, keep cooking, OG. We all we got. We're all we got, bro. And so don't celebrate. Exactly, said Google's. NPA said, I'm insane, been that way since young. Glad I'm still free and alive. Exactly. Completely insane, bro. Completely insane. And I'll tell you, I got a friend. I've told you guys before. I have a friend that I like her, man. I went to church with this girl my whole life. Dude, cut a baby out of a woman's stomach. Plotted a pregnancy. The girl got pregnant by a boy that she liked. She fakes like she's pregnant. Right before the girl's actually about to give birth, they invade her home. And they take the baby out of her. Kill her. Then pump up a fake birth certificate. And this girl gives birth to her baby the same day. I'm telling you, every time I saw that girl, I was like, what's up? She's like, what's up? Went to church with her for years. Got another dude, same church. Got at least 7 bodies on him, dog. At least 7 bodies on him. And they went to church with me. So I'm sorry, I'm a little jaded. I think y'all niggas is crazy. Straight up. Think you straight up crazy. But how could you not be? You heard Joy DeGruy-Graff. Dr. Joy DeGruy-Graff talked. She called it post-traumatic slave disorder. And that how through your genetics, you can pass on the stress of from mother to child. Or really, father to child. Because the stress is in the genes, what you call genes. I don't call genes, but call it genes if you want. That stress is in the father is in the genes or in the spirit. I'll say the spirit because that's really what it is. It's in the spirit of the father. It's in the spirit of the mother. You were born with the stresses of your father and your mother. And guess what? That goes back. So the more generations of stress you experience, the more severe it is with you. There is a very good argument that black people now are more homicidal, more insane than they were after slavery. At least in slavery, you knew exactly what the deal was. In this system, it's all lies. It's all lies. The people that you think are trying to save you are the same ones trying to oppress you. They're just wearing a different color hat. But they're from the same organization. The Anti-Defamation League, and I don't have a problem with the Anti-Defamation League. I understand what they're trying to prevent. They are trying to prevent a Holocaust. Again, they are trying to protect their people from harms that they have experienced historically, because they also have a historical memory. However, it is my belief that they are primarily interested in their own protection and do not have a problem with you being a bulletproof vest for them. Because that is what it is with the civil rights movement. No one could argue that black people were oppressed. It's very hard to argue that upper middle class whites are being oppressed because they're not allowed to be upper class whites. Right? The Anti-Defamation League was upset and the ADL, or the ADL, whatever the other groups were, and by the way, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, because the National Association, NAACP, was founded by them. And the reason that you do it is because our suffering is so obvious. It's easy to televise. It's easy to show. It's striking. Everybody knows it's the truth. And everybody and people, human beings, should care. But I'm going to ask you, what does anybody care about Harvey Weinstein being allowed to join the Masters Country Club? Nobody would have cared. Oh, we're going to march down the streets so that you can be a member in this country club? We're going to march down this street in part so that you can get a job at the financial center that you want the job at? You can't get a job on Madison Avenue, and that somehow should skew what we do. That's not our problem. We don't have a problem of wanting to be in their country clubs. Dude, we don't even like to kick it with them. Seriously. How many black people want to kick it in a white country club? For real. I've been to white country clubs, man. My pops was a member of the Chicago Club. Chicago Club is the biggest club there is in Chicago. I would go eat on a regular basis and have meetings on a regular basis at the Chicago Club. It's extremely, extremely nice. The food is very good. The building is amazingly beautiful. You're sitting with the most powerful men in the world. If you're sitting in the Chicago Club, you're dealing with some of the most powerful people in the world, because you're dealing with the most powerful people in Chicago, which is one of the biggest cities in the world. So I know what that is. The reason that you want to be there is so that you can do business with them. You can have access to their influence. You can sit next to the Pritzkers and say, hi, hello, Mr. Pritzker. My name is Martin Blackwell. I'm the son of Robert Blackwell. I just want to say that I'm a big fan of your family. And wow, you guys do so many great things for Chicago. It would be my pleasure to support your one of you guys as governor. And absolutely anything that I could do, let me know. I would do it for you, just as long as it doesn't violate my people. That's why you want to be in the Chicago Club. But that's it. You don't want to be in the Chicago Club to kick it with them. You don't. You want to be at a club with black folk to kick it. That yacht club over there on Michigan Avenue with the black folk with the yachts. Go kick it with them. You may actually roll one up. You know what I mean? They might actually have some girls around that you want to kick it with. They went to school with you. That's where you want to be. The only reason you want to be in those upper level halls, and I've been in them. The only reason you want to be there is for money and money alone. What I'm saying is, I don't have to go there for my money. I don't. I'll go to the street. Because if I have the streets, then I have the attention of the billionaire, without a doubt. That's all they care about. They don't care about doing business with you because you're black. They don't. They care about doing business with you if you can make them a lot of money. That's what they care about. And guess what? Black people make a lot of money. And by and large, they don't care about the average black person because they own enough black people in the middle to make it happen. They're subsidizing every one of your organizations. You can't buy bubblegum without them, literally. Because if you were selling bubblegum and they didn't want you to sell bubblegum, they just wouldn't send any bubblegum to the city. If they don't want you to have any guns on the South Side, you're not going to have any guns. Because they're going to prevent any gun manufacturer from getting any guns anywhere near you. The only reason that there's guns there is because they allow those guns to be there. You don't think that's the truth? I'm telling you, that's the truth. You will have a bullet shortage in a heartbeat. There will not be a bullet in the state of Illinois after you fire off the ones you got. Oh, okay. How many you got in that house? Oh, you got 16 ARs and you got what? 100 banana clips with 32 in the clips. So you got 3,200 bullets. Shoot them. Shoot them. When you shoot them, you're going to have none. And then I'm going to come right on in there. I'm just going to take you out. If I don't swat you from the beginning. Right? Or maybe I'll do like Move. You're big and bad out there in Philly. I know Move. You're big and bad. What if I just blow up your building with you in it? What if I implode your building with you in it? Dog, we don't need these middlemen. We don't need these middlemen. And we need to get away from these middlemen. Get away. Get away. Because the next round is coming, homie. The next round is coming. We are in the refinement stage. There won't be prisons. There will just be, like there is, 24 hours, 7 days a week, surveillance. Why do you need a jail? If you can surveil somebody 24 hours a day, wherever they are. And you can recognize them by their face with facial recognition. So we know exactly who you are. And with predictive algorithms, we know where you're going. And with control of the financial systems, you only have as much money as we say you have. We will overdraft your bank account, homie. Tonight. Oh, yeah, 10,000 in your bank, huh? Negative 14,000. What happened? I don't know. Maybe it was fraud. But we'll check it out and we'll give you a provisional refund. But if we research it and we find that it is legitimate, then you're stuck with the money, homie. Dude, they will take $24,000 out of your account tomorrow morning. No matter how much money you got, that shit can disappear tomorrow morning. Like this. Bink. Tippity tip. Bip. If you don't believe me, pay attention to what an interest rate is. And many of you guys are on ARMs. Do you know what an ARM is? An adjustable rate mortgage. You all, many of you, are on adjustable rate mortgages, which means you go into the house and it costs you $900 a month. You can afford it easy. Then 6 months later, a sheikh blows a fart that somebody doesn't like in China, right? A sheikh blows a fart. A monk, Chinese monk smells it. A war starts. Now trade is fucked up, right? Within Indochina. Guess what? They say, "Ooh, we think we're nervous about this. We got to raise your interest rate." So now what you were paying at $900 a month magically and mysteriously pops up to $1,600 a month with a risk that it can go to $2,200. When it gets to $2,200, you're going to give that house up. You're either going to walk away from it flat out or you're going to sell it deeply underwater and then ask for loan forgiveness. And then that loan forgiveness is going to be profit to you, or income to you on your taxes. So you will now have to pay income tax on that money that you never got, that magically disappeared because the Indian guy blew a fart in the Chinese guy's face. And that affected consumer confidence because now they don't know. They might go to war and it looks like they might be imposing tariffs on anything coming out of China, which is going to affect our dollars, which affects our perception of the value of our money. So up goes your interest rate. And who does that? The Federal Reserve does that. Are they a government organization? No, they are not. They are a privately held organization. And you know why I know that? because I've sat in meetings at the Federal Reserve. Used to live right across from the Federal Reserve in Atlanta. Saw the trucks of money coming in and out every day. That's a private institution. They invited me to talk to them and tell them what I thought about the economy as a very young man, because I'm related to my father, who they also invite to the Federal Reserve meetings, without a doubt. And that's why I'm telling you, I like the conviction. I like the conviction. I hope for a stiff punishment. But more than anything else, I hope you niggas don't get comfortable and think that you've done anything. You haven't. You haven't. You forced them to do something that they know they should have done anyway. How does that put you ahead of anything? Finally, you did something you were supposed to do. Not something that we didn't expect, something that is really going to make us feel great, all out of the blue. No, you just did some shit you're supposed to do. Somebody kills somebody dead in the middle of the street with clear indifference for their life. They go to jail. What's the problem? That is not something that it's like, oh, thank you. We've made it. No, you didn't make shit. In one instance, they did what they're supposed to do, and somehow we've made it across a finish line? No, we have not. We will have made it somewhere where we know that they're going to get convicted. When you know a police officer is going to get convicted for that, then tell me something. Okay? When you wake up knowing this, oh, this black guy get killed, I wonder how much time that cop is going to serve. I wonder if that cop is going to get the death penalty this time. Because usually what they do with the cops is all they do is they put them in jail for 15 years. They never kill them. They always put them in jail for 15 years. It's a relatively comfy stay. They get conjugal visits every month. That's not enough punishment for killing black kids. I'm sorry. They come out and they get a job in security. And then, yeah, they did their 15-year bid. But the next 30 years of their life, they're treated like a hero and make a lot of money. And we don't like that. We think we should have the death penalty for that to prevent it, right? But you know where you would have to be to have that type of conversation? You would have to believe that they were going to put a police officer in jail. But that's not what we do now. What we do, we sit back and say, oh, wow, he's going to get away with this. No doubt. He's a police officer. And it's very hard to convict him. There's the blue shield, right? Or whatever you call it. The blue wall or whatever it is that they say, rightfully so, protects each other, right? They're a group of people that have the same job. They're going to protect each other. However, the judicial system sits apart or sits above the policing one. So when are we going to have judges and prosecutors going after them every time? Do you ever have to wonder if a black school shooter is going to jail? Nope. That black kid just got caught on camera shooting 15 people. We know he's going to jail. Oh, we saw this black kid. It was armed robbery. He went in there with a gun. He's on camera. He took all the money out. We know he's going to jail. Why? Because we know the system. And why do we know the system? Because we've seen it operate over and over again. It's now systematic. Until Derek Chauvin's prosecution becomes systematic, I don't want to hear it. This is like you bringing in a kid, having him at the half court line, and he hits a shot. Okay, let him hit 15 of them, and I believe that he can shoot that shot. If he only hits 1 out of 15, that ain't systematic, dude. Go do layups. When it becomes a layup and not a half-court shot, that's when I'll believe that progress has been made. Until then, all I'm thinking is I'm looking at everybody around that's associated with it in the media, and I'm watching their next move. Where are you going to go from here? Black Lives Matter. Where are you going to go from here? What are you going to do next? Get my drift? Neely Fuller Jr. says it all the time, dog. We don't need to be celebrating nothing. Celebrating people for doing what they were supposed to do and never do and did with the with a barrel of a rifle down their throat. That's why he got convicted. Because if he didn't, there was going to be national riots. Without a doubt. But guess what? He was convicted. So there's no need for riots, right? No need for it anymore because our leaders can be trusted. Look what your leader has accomplished for you. She marched on Selma. He marched on Selma. He was sprayed with water on a bridge. He was called nigger. He had dogs chasing after kids in front of him. They didn't get bit by dogs. The kids got bit by dogs. But hey, they were on the bridge. Right? Little kids got killed. They didn't. But hey, we can trust them. Even though they've been in office and in power in Black America, they've been in power in Black America for almost 60 years. And we are in a worse case mentally than we were when they started. I'm not celebrating those cats in the civil rights movement. I'm not. I will acknowledge their contribution, but I will also acknowledge their missteps. No one asked for integration. No one. That was not pushed by Marcus Garvey. That was not pushed by Noble Drew Ali. That was not pushed. Why would people desperate to get away from their oppressors have as their number one goal to integrate with them? Why? Does that make sense to you? I live in your house and you abuse me for years and years and years. I get out, move into my own house, and I say, hey, I'm in my own house now. Will you turn the power on? Also, I need a job, just like he gets jobs, because I also can work on a manufacturing line. No doubt. So give me the job, give me the money, and I'll take care of my own house. That's not what the civil rights movement said. They said, we don't need our own house. We want to move back into your house, master, and we want to be treated better in your house, master, than you treated us in your house before, master. But we don't need our own house, master. We need a bedroom in yours. And we need to be able to buy our food from you. And we need to be able to buy our bed from you. And we need to be able to buy our blankets from you. We need to go down to the refrigerator and pay you for the milk we take out. And we will work for you in your fields to earn the money. Not have our own field where we work in our own field and our own house where we buy our own clothes and we buy our own food. You want us on welfare. You want us in projects that we don't own, they do. Nobody asked for that. I'm a black man. I can't, and I love to Tay and love to everybody that supports Black Lives Matter, but I am not a woman. I'm a man. I am not a woman. I am a man. And I am a man that has children in my house and a wife in my house. And I believe that that is essential to the survival of my children. And for you to proffer the idea that it is not, is highly offensive to me, because I know my worth to my children, and it is equal to my wife's influence and equal to it. Not secondary to it, equal to it. My daughter needs me as much as she needs her. My son needs me as much as he needs her. And they both need me more than they need you. And your ideas of the nuclear family being unnecessary. Unless if you mean that it takes a village to raise a child, in which case I will tell you still that if there are no fathers in the homes of the boys around my child, that is a danger to my child, and they are not capable of raising my child. But if my brother, who raises his child and raises and is with his wife, if he corrects my child, when he sees my child hopping over a fence that they should not be hopping over, or see them take candy from a store that he owns, I would respect his chastisement of my child, because I know he is a man like me and that he has the same priorities that I do. Because I would not hesitate to chastise his son if his son was hopping over my fence into my backyard without permission. I would tell that young boy immediately, hop your ass back over that fence and walk around the block. Do not hop over my fence, because you do not know what is waiting for you if you hop over someone else's. Do you understand me, son? And I would call him son. Do you understand me, son? Yes, sir, I understand you. Thank you very much. There's pizza in the kitchen if you'd like some. And also, please let me know if you want to go to the store. If you don't have any cash, here's $20. You and he can go to the store, and when you walk back the right way. Don't jump that fence. Right? Now, what if he was to jump over the fence of a maniac that has guns and no father in his life to teach him how to be calm, to teach him the ramifications of his actions? A man that was in the same situation as him, a boy. But yet you say that I'm not important as a central nuclear, that means central point of necessity for my son. My son needs to learn to shake a hand hard. My wife can't teach him that. When my son shakes my hand, little things, I say, son, squeeze it. He give me this little weak handshake. I said, man, if you shake my hand like that one more time, I'm going to break your knuckles. Got me? Every time my son shakes my hand, I try to break his knuckles. Nah. And eventually he firms it up and shows me his strength. And I say, I respect that. You shake a man's hand like a wet noodle, you don't have any idea of the ramifications that can have on your relationship with another man. How are you as a woman supposed to teach that to a boy? You can't. You cannot. You know what you can teach him? You can teach him how a woman would handle that situation. Because that's what you know. You know what it is to not be as physically strong and have somebody who only has physical strength over you thinking they can do something. They can't, because you know They got to leave that house. And when they leave that house, you're waiting on them, even if you're sitting in your room. So what happens? These boys turn into conniving, in what men would say, conniving bitches. And we would call them that. You're a conniving bitch. Be a man. Tell me what your fucking problem is. Do not go run around to all of my boys whispering in their ears. Because, nigga, you must not have had a daddy if you move like that. Because that shit's not going to work with a real nigga. A real one's going to sit there and every bullshit nigga that you try to flip on him, he's going to flip every one of them niggas. Oh, you want to flip on me, huh? You're flipped. You want to flip on me? You're flipped. Next nigga to want to flip on me? Come on. I know there's a bitch nigga around in your ear. So it's the only amount of time before this girl man, this man raised to be a girl, goes and gossips in your ear to try to turn you against me, right? Because that's what women would do. If I got a problem with a girl and say I hit her, which I would never do, she knows she can't beat me up. So what does she do? She gets another boyfriend. And then she sends that nigga at me. And then that nigga gets laid out flat. And shit doesn't matter to her. She didn't like the nigga anyway. That's why you bitch niggas be acting like that. Because you ain't got no men in your family. Even if they're male. You ain't got men in your family. You need men in your family. Join a gang, sissy. Join a gang, sissy. They'll get you right. You do that shit to them, they'll just beat you. You sell out on a nigga, you sell a nigga out, they'll just beat you. You do it twice, you're just never going to be around again. You'll learn real quick. That's why them boys run to gangs. Run to them. Why? Because there's men there. Men. What they perceive to be men. Men go get money no matter what. Men make it happen no matter what. Much love in that super chat to Jay said, keep speaking facts, Martin. Thank you, brother. I will. Don't go celebrating, bro. That's my whole thing. Don't go celebrating this shit. It ain't nothing. It's literally nothing. Other than somebody giving you money that they already had in their pocket. Somebody just say that George Floyd's life is a $5 bill. I never thought to call jeans a spirit. Appreciate it. It is. Jeans are spirit. Because they're electricity. They're energy. Physics has now drifted to calling everything energy, right? Energy. But what is energy? Energy is that which moves. Energy is that which moves. What moves? Spirit moves. All they're doing, and I talked to a priest yesterday and explained it to him. All information systems is doing, and by the way, anatomy is doing, with what they're calling their physics, is taking Buddhism because they know their shit is wrong. Okay? They know it's wrong. And they know that their problem is observation. And the fact that the simple fact that you're observing something changes the nature of that thing that you're observing. Because now it is subject to your observation. If you're looking at a bird and that bird sees you looking at it, that bird is going to move. Its energy will react to you looking at it because it is no longer without your energy. It is now embedded with you. Your conceptions, your ideas, your desire for seeing it, all of that comes into play. So you can never separate the nature of existence. You have to separate the nature of existence from your observation. And how do you do that? Spirit. It is the father. It is the mother. It is the child. It is the cause. It is the idea, the manifestation, right? God is the directing purpose. God's laws, right? Mother Nature. God is the cause. Mother Nature is the manifestation of the cause. And you, and reality, is the manifestation of that cause. So the laws of God are transferred into spirit. The mind of God is then manifested through Mother Nature, results in creation. As is the case with anything you do in your life. If you want to do a video, you have to think, I want to do a video. You, in that case, are the good, or the God, or the cause. You then get on your computer and you manifest it. Then you publish your video, and it is distinct from you, but heavily embedded, or influenced, directed by your original cause. See, that is the manifestation of the Trinity. God the Father, not the Holy Spirit, but Mother Nature. See, when they want to take the feminine aspect out of it, they call it the Holy Spirit. Why is it the Holy Spirit? Because it is all spirit. It is the manifestation of the Spirit that you see. They are dual, but they are one. That's why Jesus said, you tell me alpha, I'll tell you beta. 0 is the all. 1 is God. 2, or God is the male principle. 1 is the male principle. 2 is the female principle. And 3 is that which is created out of the male and the female principle. 4 is physicality, because it is the 4 corners of a square, which is the most solid of all geometric figures. So that's why they say the earth is flat. It is a square. That's what they mean by that in a metaphysical sense. 5 is the 2 and the 3. And you could continue that through the end. These things are all connected, which is why I'm saying this is no celebration with this man. No, it's no separation for this. It's no celebration for doing what you're supposed to do. If George Floyd's life was worth $1 zillion, and I'm telling you, it's worth $1 zillion, a life, because there's nothing you can do to create it. It is the original of everything. It is essential to conception. There is no value on life. You didn't really take it, but you took the manifestation of that life. How much is that worth? Say it's worth 100 million. Go cheap. Then you're telling me all you did, you can't give the $100 million back. You can't give the money back. But all you're going to do is punish the guy for stealing it. All I say is that's what you're supposed to do. Where's the celebration? Anyway, that's my take on the matter. We'll be back to boxing tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for everything that you've done. Thank you so much for listening to me. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for running over on 78. And with that, I'm out. Collective unconscious, without a doubt. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Also, spirit, by the way. The collective unconscious, spirit. Same thing, different word. Peace.